Yeah, yeah. Coming up next on Mental Health Matters with Marty, join me with Thomas Davis and none other than Dr. Randy Sconiers, all the way from New Jersey, as we talk about COVID and classrooms. Stay tuned. What's up, everybody? Hey, it's your boy, it's your host, your mental health hygienist, Martina Sellers, coming to you live and in living color, all the way from Southern California, where the sun continues to shine and the heat index continues to rise. Y'all, we are still in those, knocking on those triple digits, but that's okay. We are not having any floods or anything like that. Listen, our heart still goes out to those of you on the East Coast and down south who have been dealing with all of these major events that's been happening, but know that you're in our thoughts and our prayers. But hey, welcome to this amazing edition of the Mental Health Matters with Marty show. You know how we do it. We like to have good times, have some fun, but we want to drop some knowledge on you as well. Now, let me just remind you, just in case you have forgotten, that the Mental Health Matters with Marty show is for educational purposes and educational purposes only. We are not a substitute to your therapy. Let me say that one more time. We are not a substitute for your therapy. Now, we can be a part of your treatment plan, but we are not a substitute. Listen, we want you to go see your therapist. And if you are not seeing a therapist, stop secretly suffering in silence and shame, but go call and get a therapist today. Listen, we need a therapist with all the stuff that's going on. We don't want to tell you what to do, but we want to help you look at your life from a different perspective. But if you're experiencing any type of psychiatric emergency, please go to your nearest urgent care or dial 911. And then when you get back, come and check out the rest of the program. That's how we roll here. Listen, we hope you guys are having an amazing week. It is the start of another week, and we are so glad about it. But how do I engage in the conversation here on this show? We want you to jump onto the Mental Health Matters with Marty page, because that's where we see your comments, or on the Marcel Media Group page on YouTube. That's where we see those as well. We are not trying to ignore you. Know that. Because some of y'all says, "Wish you ignore me?" No, we're not trying to ignore you. No, we want to see your feedback and hear your feedback and hear your comments. I got some great people on the show today, and that's what we want to talk to you about. And we want to make sure that your questions, your comments, everything is seen and heard. Why? Because we want to make sure you are heard here on the Mental Health Matters with Marty show. You know how that's how we do it, y'all. So let's get this topic on the road. What are we talking about today? Today we're talking about COVID and class, supporting parents and children through this pandemic. Y'all, it still has not gone away. Some of us feel like it's gone away, but COVID, the Delta variant, the Lambda variant, the Omega variants, every type of variant you can think of is still here. And we have to know how to navigate through this whole thing with responsibility, because our children are at stake. Now, listen, whether you get vaccinated or not, that's not for me to say. All I want to say here is that our children are at stake, and the lives of our very children are at risk. So whatever you decide to do, use responsibility, use care, use intelligence, allow yourself to definitely balance these things out from an intellectual point of view and not from just being hot-headed. There's too many of us out here who are making suggestions who have nothing to do. Listen, this is Marty saying this, and if you don't have school-age children, keep your butt out of the school age open house discussions. Too many of you who don't have children, listen, grandpas and grandmas, we know unless you're caring for them, you can give your support. But stop trying to influence our children and what needs to be done to protect our kids, because you all are upset. This is not a political matter. This is a life and death, a public health safety matter that we're talking about. But listen, I'm so glad to have my co-host on here. Y'all know him, none other than Thomas Davis from the DMV. What's up, Thomas?
Happy Monday. Happy Monday, Marty. What's going on, sir?
What's going on? I told you, I don't know if we allowed you to wear this Dallas stuff up in this in peace, but you know, some of us can't help but join the winning side. You know, you got to stay with the underdogs. I get you, you know, when we're going for the underdogs all the time, but at some point, come to the winning side.
You know what? It is an honor to be on your show this evening. I am so excited to talk about COVID and class, supporting parents and our scholars through the pandemic.
Thomas, how are you doing, man?
Brother, I'm good. How are you? It is a wonderful fall-like Monday here in the DMV. I bring you greetings all the way from Washington, D.C., a.k.a. Maryland, a.k.a. DMV.
Right. Listen, Jerron, what's going on, man? Jonathan, what's happening? You know what time it is. Whenever Thomas is in the room, listen, we know we're going to have a good time. We're going to have a good time. You know, for a minute there, I thought you was pledging Omega Psi Phi something. Not Omegas, a Sigma Gamma. I'm just saying, all that blue and white. Your black and gold, they might be a little bit upset.
Hey, look, the black and gold is right here, brother. It never leaves.
I understand.
Marty, man, I told you I was going to be good tonight on our first night, okay?
You can't be good, man. Listen, this is how we roll. You know how we do it. Listen, Miss T.E., how you doing, darling?
Hey, babe, what's going on?
Tell Thomas to behave. Tell Thomas to behave. Where's your mother at? Get mama on here.
I don't already sent it to her. I've already sent it.
I'm just saying. I'm her favorite.
But so, you know what, though, Marty? It is 9:11 on the East Coast, brother.
Man, y'all ain't sleep on the East Coast. Come on back over to the West Coast, the best coast. I'm just saying.
I'm so glad that we have a guest tonight from the East Coast that's gonna hold it down.
Yes,
with me tonight.
Yes. But Thomas, on real talk,
yes,
though,
sir.
How is everything going with your school? What's happening with your school these days, and how are you guys adjusting to so much has been thrown at you guys? I'm sure it feels like things change on a daily basis. How are you coping, and how are you able to help your students and parents out?
Marty, if I can say one word, brother, it's called flexibility, right? We never know what's going to happen. We never know what's going to take place. We always got to be ready to be on, adjust to change, adapt, keep the mask on our kids' face. Scholars, if you are listening tonight, keep your mask on in the building so we can stay in school.
Yes, that's why I'm kind of surprised you're wearing all this Texas stuff, considering the controversy that Texas has with. Oh, you're gonna put it. I don't know why you got a mask on for Cowboys. They don't wear them.
You know what? Shout out to my Dallas Cowboys fans out here. We won a game on yesterday. I told you I'm not doing this tonight, sir. We're going to be good tonight.
Okay.
Next Monday is a different story.
I'm going to be
No,
more
you're
professional.
not.
That's right. That's right.
No, you're
Yes,
not.
I am.
And
Yes, I
I'm
am.
not either. But no,
But talk to me.
but
Talk
I
to me
mean,
about the classroom for you guys. It's got to be tough. How do you keep the teachers motivated with such now we see that the pediatrics is really in I don't want to say invading, but definitely filling up our hospitals, our sick wards, everything else like that.
yes,
Oh,
it's
my
good to
mother
see you
said she was
too.
so excited. She was so excited. Oh, Thomas is coming on. I was like, yeah, he regular.
Marty, I miss your followers. I miss your mom. I miss all of you all. But I'm glad to be back in the house tonight. I'm coming up.
Definitely.
I am waking up, so be careful. But to answer your question, to just answer your question like this,
yes,
the teachers, if I'm honest, our teachers are very overwhelmed.
Yes,
they are stressed out. Administration is stressed out because we're trying to do what's best for students and what's best for our teachers and staff, and most of all, what's just best for everybody. We have set up our classrooms to where each classroom has their own personal protection equipment. We refill it every day. There go mom. Hey mom.
There
love
she
you.
is. Hey mom.
we make sure that we have hand sanitizer. We are also doing weekly COVID screens for students and staff. We are also being very graceful with making sure that when we can let our staff go for a little bit of self-care, that's what we are doing. Because honestly,
that's good.
Teaching in 2021 in a pandemic has been one for the books.
It has been, and my heart goes out to the schools, to the teachers, to the educators, to the administration, to the caregivers, the lunch ladies, the janitorial crew, the aides, the TAs, all of that, because they're all affected. They're now the front lines for real. And dealing with our children, for a lot of them can't get vaccinated, or the parents don't want them to get vaccinated, and so our kids are the ones that get caught in the crossfire of all of this. So that's what is the challenge with that. Sorry, I'm having some technical difficulties, but that's okay. We're gonna get it back together.
Yes, sir. And it's also, Marty, just one of the things that we are also seeing that's happening is that now that we are testing in all of our schools in the District of Columbia, we are seeing the uptick in positive cases. And just like you said earlier, there are young adults who cannot get the vaccine yet. There are families that are still choosing not to vaccinate their child. And so that also puts a damper, and it puts our youth at a disadvantage because they are missing academic hours. And so, so we are trying to figure out what works. Shout out to my school. We have purchased Owls, which is a whole streaming system to where when our kids are at home, they can stream the actual environment at home. We are making sure that we are utilizing Zoom. We are doing Google Classrooms. We are doing whatever it takes to provide that supplemental educational opportunities. But I will say this, it's nothing like being inside of the building. And Marty, and one last thing, one of the things that I can say that we are experiencing, and I know that we're going to talk about this later, is the social piece. Kids have been home for 2 years, coming back into an environment, engaging with adults, listening to somebody. See, I woke up, put my school out there, but now that it's out there, shout out to Kip DC.
I hear it. Well, listen, I'm so excited to have our guest on tonight.
Yes.
Listen, he is no stranger to the show. This young brother is doing the thing. If I was about 20 years younger, I'd be trying to do the hip hop thing that he's doing. But I love what he's doing. I love his passion. I think he's going to be a force to reckon. He's already a force to reckon with. But I can't wait till he really gets out there, get in our school system. He's an advocate of education. He's an advocate for working with our children, our youth, and to really helping them to really leverage up in so many ways. I'm so glad to have him on here. He is none other than the hip hop therapist, none other than, welcome to the show again, Dr. Randy Sconius. Hey, man.
What's going on, Marty? How you doing?
Man, doing well. How you doing out there in New Jersey, man?
I'm doing good, man. I can't complain at all. I'm so grateful for you bringing me back. I'm a little surprised you invited me with a Dallas fan, being that I'm a Giants fan. But I'm gonna try to get through it tonight.
Hey, Doc. Two things, and I'm gonna start with you first. When the Giants get on the board, then you can talk about my attire, and I may consider taking it off. But Marty,
wait.
You
don't talk about my guests like that.
Hold on. But Marty, you said if you was 20 years younger, shouldn't you add a little bit more besides 20?
Thomas, don't make me cut you on.
You woke me up.
Thank you. See, thank you, producer in the back. He's on my payroll, not yours.
He disappeared. What happened to him?
Right, but they can hear me. They can't hear me.
We can cut that off too. No, I love it. Listen, Dr. S, man, you are doing such amazing work, man, and I love the work that you are doing in the classrooms with really trying to make that bridge with our young people in education. That's so important, man. First, tell us, for those who may not know who you are, what you do, and why do you have this passion for this age group that you work with?
Sure. So, I'm Dr. Randy Sconius. I'm a doctor of social work, a licensed clinical social worker here in New Jersey, and I'm a private practice, a mental health therapist, a clinician. And I've always utilized hip hop. I grew up doing hip hop. I was an artist. I was a producer here in New Jersey, and I just have a passion and love for the culture of hip hop. So when I got into this field and doing this work in terms of mental health and wellness and healing, that part of me never left.
Wow!
It was just an opportunity for me to bridge and utilize the powerful and influential culture of hip hop, just to reach more kids, because I was already asking them about, what kind of music you listen to or what artists you listen to. And then at that point in 2017, I just formalized a program called Mental Hop, put it together, and just was going out to school saying, look, I have a way to engage our young people in discussions and safe, emotional safe places around mental health, wellness, and healing. What y'all think? And all of a sudden, districts was like, let's do it. School districts gave me a shot. And before you know it, there were so many districts and schools and opportunities coming my way. So I'm just grateful that I can still do what I love and talk about music and talk about hip hop and talking about healing and help our young people understand that they deserve to heal as well. So that's what it's really all about, educating them.
Man, I love that. I love it. Man, okay, is that sweatshirt, that hoodie on your website?
Yeah, I don't like to start the shows with self-promotion, but if anybody would like to if they want to get the Mental Hop hoodie and support, mentalhop.com, just like the way it's spelled here, .com, and we got a bunch of merch up there, hats, this hat that I'm wearing called Invisible Wealth as well, because we want young people to know it's great to have material things, but it's so important to have that wealth inside of you that so many people don't see, like kindness, compassion, empathy. Those are all things that are extremely important. You might not see it, but you feel it. So you could get this hat as well on mentalhop.com.
Listen,
thanks for that shameless plug.
That's a shameless
plug. If I could jump in right quick.
Please.
Yo, this is to our listening audience, this is a black man that has a doctorate that is reaching our youth where they are into hip hop.
Right.
Yo, y'all need to share this broadcast. Y'all need to tag some administrators, some superintendents, some districts.
Thank you.
Because what we need to do is listen to this brother here, because he's bringing self-awareness, social and emotional growth through what we like to do, which is dance and hip hop. Yo, I salute you, brother. I salute you.
Yes.
Appreciate that,
Yes.
man. One love. I
Yes.
appreciate it.
And I got to go get that sweatshirt, so I'm gonna take a picture of it as soon as I get it too, man. So we have to support each other, and
Yes.
that's why I wanted to create this platform as well, because we don't see enough of us doing this. One, and let me make this clear, y'all. This brother has an earned doctorate. It was not one that was honorary. He got the student loans to prove it. Sally Mae be hitting my brother up on a monthly basis.
That's right. True
indeed. To him.
Yes. And when young men, Thomas, don't you say nothing. He's a young man. I'm seasoned. Watch your mouth. Don't make us turn off your camera. But when young men are doing this, we have a responsibility to promote. And man, I love it. Why do you think, and what are you seeing as it comes to maybe anxiety, or what are you seeing in the classrooms and when you're reaching out to these young people now? Because you're back in person with these young people, correct?
That's right. Yep, we're back in person here in New Jersey.
Okay. So what are you seeing when you're going out doing your mental hop workshops and continue extended programs? What are you seeing, and what can we do differently as parents?
Well, I think right away what you're saying is the level of uncertainty, right?
Yes.
Connected to anxiety. I think a lot of our kids have been out of the classrooms for over a year now, right? So just reallocating, transitioning back into that space. And so you have academic deficits that need to be made up, but you also have that social, emotional learning piece as well. And just, navigating the space of school again. I think so many people, so many kids are like, okay, we're back in, but now there's these different protocols. There's the masks that we have to wear. Is this school environment going to be the same? So I think what we're trying to do is just help young people readjust again and pivot, but still understand that they have that support, that we're there for them. And most importantly, giving them the space to talk. There's so many,
that's good.
So many decisions are being made for our kids, and they're the last ones that get a say, if any say at all. So giving them the opportunity to share and say, you know what, your voice is important. Your voice does matter. Let's give you that space to be able to talk about how you feel in a judgment-free zone and without the stigma and shame. Let's just talk about it.
Yeah. That's so important with that. And I've always suggested that. Last week I had this one educator. She was saying she schedules Zoom meetings even with her children. Once a month she sends them a Zoom link, and everyone's in their rooms and whatever. She goes, because they're used to it. And she goes, I've gotten more out of the Zoom links with my kids sometimes than I have with the face, because it allows them to really take the time. Thomas, what about you? What are some suggestions and things that you have done with your students at your school?
Well, Marty, if I can, I want to stay with where Doctor is at, because he's talking some facts. Our youth and young adults not only need to learn how to socialize, they also need to learn how to process loss. They also need to learn how to process trauma, because although some of us have been home and been fortunate to be safe during this pandemic, a lot of our kids and a lot of our youth lost caregivers. They lost parents. They lost those ones that was keeping them safe, and now they are placed back into those environments where they aren't safe. And so I do agree with what the comment was, that we got to provide our youth and young adults and even our teachers and our families those safe spaces to just say, yo, I'm tired of this, and just let them run it off, so we can try to help them find what works and meet them to halfway. Because guess what, y'all? Nobody on this platform has the perfect answer to how we can get through this. But what we can do is offer you all suggestions that is, quote, appropriate for you as that individual. Because sometimes we want to do this one size fit all thing, but we got to look at the youth at their lens and at their perspective, if that makes sense.
Totally makes sense. How have you been able to use what you do, Dr. S, with helping them process grief, helping them process kind of this adjustment disorder, helping them
Right.
process, back, how do I socialize again? Because that's what I've been getting from my own clients, that's saying, I don't know how to socialize again. How do I go back to do that? Yeah. So how has, even what you've been doing with your mental hop, what are some things that you maybe have been using, or how has it been useful with helping them express themselves?
Yeah, see, the cool thing about mental hop is it's just not about music, right? So it's really, or
Right.
just about hip hop. It's really about that connection between mental health and hip hop. So I start all my symposiums with gratitude. Like, we really get
Mm,
in and have some great conversations with our young people about the things that we're grateful for. Although we've been through so much, so many different challenges
right.
over the last couple of
Right.
years, there's still
Right.
so many things for us to sort of remind us that we're still here and we have something to be
Right.
grateful for. But we also get
Mm-hmm.
into conversations about vulnerability. We get into
Mm,
conversations like the brother said about grief too, because not
mm-hmm.
only was there loss around COVID, there was this loss in general. And a lot of times I feel like
Yes.
that's something that's going on in our country is like there's a
Hmm.
lot of people that are still grieving over loss in general. So giving our young
Right.
people the opportunity
Mm-hmm.
to talk about how that feels, to
Right.
talk about those
Right.
stages of grief that they're going through. And in regards
Right.
to socialization, let's just get talking. Music provides conversation. So that's the
Yes.
thing. Like what you want to do is like so often like our challenges and issues are really complex. That doesn't mean
Right.
our
Right.
solutions have to be. Our
Right.
solutions don't have to
Thank
be
you.
complex. Music
Right.
is the universal language. It helps us feel good. It provokes love. It
Right.
provokes thought. It provokes conversation. So just getting kids talking about things
Right.
that are going on in music and in the culture allows us to then socialize and connect and
Love it.
listen to perspective and
Right.
critical thinking skills and
Yeah.
disagree
Right.
with one another too, right? We don't
Come on,
always have
critical
to
thinking.
agree, yeah,
Yeah.
but how do we work through it? So that's what
Yeah.
mental hop is all about. It's all about sort of like finding our way and
Right.
exploring different ways to help young people heal, finding their way. That's what it's
That's
really
right.
about.
That's
Right.
right. I love what you were saying about that, helping them process, helping them deal with it, because we have not talked about a lot of times the losses that our young people, they had losses of friendship, they had loss of
Mhm.
routine, they had those who were athletic, they had loss of sports,
Yep.
they had loss of some other relationships. Let's look at
Mhm.
what Penny Davis says. I have a pre-K nephew that was sent home from school today for 14 days because he was in contact with another child who was tested positive for COVID. He does not understand why he was sent home and that he cannot go back. How would
Hmm.
you reach this age group? That's a great question. And Penny, I'm going to let Dr. I know that's your mama. I'm going to let Dr. S take a crack at it. And then Thomas, I want to let you even take a crack at answering your own mama in that question.
That is a great question, and that is a serious
Yes.
question too. I think what has to happen, and I hope this is what took place, is that the powers that be have some mechanism in place that
Yes.
allows even processing to take place, even for a pre-K student. Even at that
Right.
age, we need professionals that have the skills to be
Hmm.
able to get down on that pre-K's level, literally get on your
Yes.
knees and have that one-on-one talk or just trying to connect and help them using toys, using in
Yes.
play therapy to be able to help them process that, because that is extremely challenging for a kid to
Hmm.
to figure out, why am I being sent home because I was just like playing with my
Hmm.
friend, like this is like normal stuff. So we
Right.
have to have these sort of conversations, or have the professionals that have the skills to be able to help all age levels to be able to process
Right.
situations just like this. So he doesn't feel like he's being penalized, or
Right.
they're being,
I love that.
punished. you know?
Yeah, and I love you said get on their level, to where they are, meet them right where they're at. I love that you said get down on your knees, pull out the toys, let them build something, let them, in seeking safety. One of the things we used to do was safe house and drawing.
Yep.
Let them color, let them
Yep.
do whatever you need to do that meets them right at their need. Let them play it, maybe their favorite song. My daughter, oh my God. If I hear Rihanna's "Dance in the Dark" one more time,
Yep.
because of that movie Home, and so I hear it at least 10 times a day. I'm screaming, but those are great suggestions. Thomas, what else would you suggest? Would you add to what Dr. Essa said?
Dr. Scarlett just said it. I mean, honestly, I cannot take nothing away from what he said. But in looking at that comment that Miss Davis said, she said that he does not understand why
Right.
he was sent home. And the other comment was he does not understand why he can't go back. So to answer that question, we as teachers, educators, therapists, whoever that interface with youth and young adults, we got to navigate from the what and start focusing on the why. And what I mean by that is we got to start talking to our kids and just give them the why. And when we are giving them that why, we also got to add an extra layer and just say, it's not your fault. We want you to be safe. Your friend is sick.
That's good.
We don't want you to get sick. We don't want you to come home and give it to your brother, give it to your grandmother who is sick as well. So we got to do a little bit of extra love, if that makes sense. We got to explain that why a little bit more, because sometimes we get caught up on the what. We already know what the what is, but why is the what there?
Yeah.
Why do I have to go home? Why do I have to stay at home while everyone else is coming to school? So we really need to explain to our youth, why are we doing this?
And I love what you're saying, that the why, and making sure that they know it's not their fault, that they are not to blame. And I think at that age they take everything so personal. And if we're looking at Erickson's developmental chart, you don't want to do that shame in there, and you get right into that age group of dealing with shame and embarrassment, and how they internalize that later, and how it comes out later on in life, that they don't have the self-confidence and self-esteem because they're always saying, I'm sorry, it's my fault. And that's what we don't want to happen. I think we're seeing a lot of that during this time as well. Dr. S, I love that. That's a great suggestion. How do we combat that blame? How do we not get kids not to isolate or even the fear? Because some kids, the pandemic, for our introverted kids, this was great. Some of their grades went up. They're like, hey, I can do this. But for our extroverted, they were going crazy. I had this 14-year-old client, and he says, listen, Marty, I did all of my 6th grade in middle school and part of my 7th grade, and now I'm in high school. So he missed his 8th grade graduation, his 8th grade prom, all the things that helped develop them socially. And now he's going right into high school. He goes, I'm scared half to death. How do I even meet people? How do I talk to people? Now you got 4 or 5 other middle schools dumping into this high school. So what advice do you give parents who might be going through that with their children and their youth in that transition, or even from elementary to middle school? Because there's a lot of things that's being learned during that time as well.
Sure. I think that the technology, we have to look at the technology on multiple fronts. So we really had to pivot really quickly to this technology and virtual world. And I know a lot of parents weren't on board with that. But one of the things we got to look at is there's often some good in the challenges. We just have to be mindful and pay close attention to where the possibilities lie for us to use it. Technology, those kids were playing video games and playing Madden and playing 2K, and parents wanted them off the video games. But they were having conversations and talks with their friends. That's something that's really important now, because we realize a lot of them weren't in school, but they were still playing games. They were still TikToking. They were still using social media. They were still having group chats and things going on. I think that allowed our kids, they're extremely resilient. I think for a lot of them, it was a huge adjustment, but I think they were savvy in trying to find other ways to still connect. So for our parents, even in small doses, if you could get them with 1 or 2 kids, if you feel safe, enough to have them, or you had them around a couple of kids, that's a great opportunity for them to still keep those skills sharp. But the family unit is a place to practice social skills too. I think we always think our social skills happen outside the family. Spend time with your kids. Talk to your kids. Say that one.
Wait. You mean as a parent, I gotta spend time with my kids?
I have 3. Trust me. I have teenagers. I have a 15, 13, and a 6-year-old, 7-year-old. And yes, you have to spend time with your kids. So it was a lot of adjustment, but it was a great opportunity as well. Because I got to spend more time with my kids. I got to know them on a different kind of level. I got to see some of the challenges that they were going through that maybe I didn't see before because they were going off to school. So just looking for the gems and these challenges that we've been through. What are the opportunities for us to grow as parents? And that's right, spend more time with our kids as well. I think we did a lot more of that over the last year.
I bet
that helps.
It does. What are you gonna say, Thomas? I see you saying something.
I like that. I'm gonna take it back to the elementary school. Look, listen, and feel. Look at your kids. Listen to your kids and feel their emotion, feel their anger, feel their anxiety. When you understand your child, it gives you an opportunity to groom them at home. And I do agree with Dr. S. He hit it on the head. Y'all that are watching, Marty, this is your show, so they could be mad at me, Thomas Davis. Education does not start in this school building. Social skills do not start
at home
in the school building. It starts when they wake up and they walking down your floor asking you, can they get something out the refrigerator? That's where it starts. And so imagine if we all came together and we worked together, we won't have all of these things that we're having. So that was Thomas Davis, y'all, not Martina Sellers. This was me saying that.
Listen, but we all we all feel the same way. I applaud these kids because I know had that been now we didn't have internet. Watch your mouth, Thomas. When I was in school, hold your praise, hold it. But I don't know if a pandemic like that had happened when I was in school. I don't know what would have happened. I don't know if it happened like that even when I was in college. I don't know what would have happened. But these kids show great resiliency in this. Yes, movies together during the pandemic. I sat and watched my boys play video games and play too. Exactly. My daughter and I have been watching Teen Nick and having music debates. Yes, I've been doing TikTok videos with my goddaughter. I'm still learning it. Watch it, Thomas. When I perfect it, I'm gonna publish it. Hey, I want no hard feelings when I get to TikTok. Hey, I said I can tick or talk, but I can't TikTok. But that's a whole nother thing. I want hip or hop, but we're gonna get to the mental hop. Watch it, Thomas. Hold.
Dr. S, I have a question because I'm trying to hold it together tonight. There have been a lot of parents who have really been struggling with trying to reach their kids. I had a case today in my office where a parent just sat in my office and just said, I just don't know what to do. I've tried talking to my child. I tried to figure out how I can help he or she learn. I am overwhelmed because I got to figure out how I can work and still try to get he or she straight. How do we encourage our parents that they too can get through this as well?
That's good.
Wow, that's a great question because I think that's another sort of element to all this stuff that we've been going through. The parents are concerned about their kids, so they got stress from there. They got, the financial worries for some of them, the uncertainty just like the kids have. There's some commonality there. I think that there's an opportunity to allow yourself to be honest and vulnerable about what you're feeling with your kids, which then will allow them to feel safe to be able to express that maybe they're a little bit afraid as well. So there's an
Right.
opportunity just to have that connection that could be the bridge to maybe a better understanding or more engagement with your kids. I
Right.
also think it's important. This is going to sound, again, it's the basic, simple things. Ask how your kids are feeling. It's okay to check in with your kids. I think when
Wow.
kids become teenagers, they sort of just disappear into their rooms, and they close the door, and then we only see them when it's dinner time or when they're out the door. No, it's okay to still try to engage, but also be mindful that this is a period of time, a developmental stage, in which for a lot of kids, it's sort of they appreciate having that space from parents as well. So give them that,
Right.
and don't try to be super hip hop and I know everything about hip hop, and I'm gonna try to reach my kids because I listen to the new Drake or the new Kanye or the new Lil Baby. Be honest. Let them educate you. Let them
Right.
inform you. Let them become the experts of the
Right.
music, and you humble yourself. But then there's an opportunity for you to tell them about the music from old as well, and you just see there's
There
a
you go.
connection there. Music again is a great tool to help parents connect. But I think this for parent self-care, that's important too. Take care of yourselves. Restore, fill your cup too. I'm sure parents are stressed with everything that's going on, everything that's going on in the news. This vaccine,
Right.
should we get the vaccine? Should I give my kid the
Right.
vaccine? I'm scared. I'm worried.
Right.
It's okay. Just breathe. Take a
That's
deep
good.
breath. Reach out to your support system. So have a support
That's
system is
good.
valuable as well. And hopefully together we could just get through this together. You and your kids can walk on this journey so you don't have to feel alone, and they don't have to feel alone either.
I love that we often as parents, we don't share with our kids how we're feeling or what we're going through. Believe it or not, most of them know anyway, especially there's some
Exactly.
stuff that you can't even hide from your teenage daughter. I'm sure at this, I can't even believe your daughter's
Of course.
15. Give me
I
a
know
break.
already.
Wow.
Right?
Yeah. There's certain things we can't hide from our kids. I don't care how well we try to mask it. And why not have that conversation? Hey, I'm just as scared as you are. LaDon says, my sons loved old school music that my mom introduced to me. They have old souls. Right. And then they
That's
get to hear
beautiful.
the
That's great.
loops,
That's
especially, Ron Isley, we know he was writing loops for days on this new stuff. Some of the but now we're teaching them history. We're teaching our culture. So you don't know nothing about Ron Isley. Come on.
What I was going to say is when the kids wake up in the morning, they need to play Love and Happiness.
There you go.
Not Al Grits. I mean Greens. But
You should know. You should know.
Listen. Ain't nothing like a good little song to keep a little pep in your step, man. Yes. Dr. S, you just been a part of this amazing documentary. Daryl, can you show us the documentary and tell us what that is all about?
Yeah, so there's a great documentary by a young film director named Antoine Lindsay, based out of Florida. And last year in 2020, I got the opportunity to sit in and had an opportunity to be part of this amazing film that's coming out summer 2022. It's called Help Us Say Help, and it's I'm telling you, it's going to be groundbreaking. I went to Florida this past weekend to shoot my scene of the documentary, and I was blessed enough to bring my daughters with me, my two oldest, to witness entire film crew, Black film crew, amazing.
Wow.
You're going to see Black excellence on film. I'm telling you guys, trust me, as a creative, as an artist, as a mental health, clinician, therapist, and educator, I was blown away by the concept and what he was sharing with me. And I just can't wait for you guys to see it. I'm telling you, it's going to be, there's a bunch of great people, and it's really for everyone. He really created a film. He's creating a film that's for our people to understand how to heal and the suffering that we've been through and how it impacts our lives. So it's going to be great. It's going to be phenomenal. So I'm honored and grateful that I had the opportunity just to be even a small part of this great film that's going to come out next year.
Wow.
Yo, that
that's
title
amazing.
alone, Marty. That title
Right.
alone, hush.
Powerful.
Sometimes we gotta just hush
Yes.
and listen. Yo, let me know, brother. Let me know. I like that.
Yeah.
For sure. And even the concept of sometimes we have been conditioned to hush.
Yep.
Right? Like,
Yep.
so we have things that we want to say, but we keep it in silence. So silence.
Yeah.
So I think there's so many angles that you're going to see from this film. Just stay tuned for that. Summer 2022.
I love it because
is gonna be
it's such a play on that word hush, and I say this all the time, especially we as Black men, we secretly suffer in silence due to shame, and I love it. Help us say help. And for Black men especially, there's this whole mental thing about saying, hey, bro, I need some help, because we think of it as a weakness instead of a strength. And we have to I love that, reframe the narrative of that. So important. Wow. I love this. Raylene, now listen, she's powerful, says, wow, we've been conditioned to hush. Raylene, you're absolutely right. And we're actually saying to do the opposite of that. Don't hush, speak up.
That's right.
As I say, as we do that. Wow, Doc, that's power. I can't wait till it comes out. And definitely, you got to come back on and share with us some of that as well. It is going to be amazing. Listen, you got an open invite. Anytime you would come on, you ain't got to wait for us. You can look, I'm coming on the show tomorrow. I'm like, not a problem, man. You always got an open invite with us, man.
Now can I come in? Can I come in my Giants gear? Because at the end of the season, we won't worry about the Dallas. Nobody's worried about Dallas at the end of the season. So I'll
come in your Giants
gear. Okay, I appreciate that. That's love. I appreciate that.
Can I go find a prop? Can I go find a prop, Marty?
No, sir. It ain't that time.
There's no time for props.
No time for props. No problem. Listen, Dr. S, you also have two amazing books out as well. Can you share with us your books and what they are and how people can get them? Man, I love them both because I've been using them both and I've been reading them both. So, man, especially your morning wake-up calls.
Yeah, so I wrote a book in 2017 called Good Mornings, Wake Up Calls for Life. That is my first book. I'm extremely proud of it because the feedback that I got from this book has just been amazing. It's a daily read with this morning affirmations, encouraging words of reflection, and it's for everyone. It's an easy read. And it's just a great way to introduce people to the idea of mental wealth, mental health, healing, self-care. And it's a great way to start your day. So it's sort of like that wake-up call to start your day. So that's Good Mornings, Wake Up Calls for Life. And in 2020, in the midst of a pandemic, right, I wrote Good Vibes with Dr. S because I just felt like the country, the nation was going through so much in terms of some of the social injustices, George Floyd issue, the pandemic. And I just wanted to send out some good vibes to people. I just wanted them to read some things that would just sort of get them thinking, but also help them feel good. So that's where Good Vibes came from. And they're both available on Amazon. You can get those. And I encourage you, please, by all means. And I use, the funds that I generate from the books to do free mental health symposiums wherever I can. So whenever I have an opportunity to do a free symposium, it's because of the sales from mentalhealth.com and from the book. So I truly appreciate the love and support as always.
Definitely. Y'all, please go out and buy this. Don't just buy one. Listen, we're about to enter into Christmas, Thanksgiving. What a wonderful gift to give someone during the holiday time. Give them the whole get-up. Get both the books and the hoodie that you can give to your young people.
Appreciate that.
Let's put some dollars back in this man's pocket so he can do what he's reinvesting. He ain't trying to get this $1 million mansion, which he deserves, but he's pouring it back into our young people. And we don't see people doing that too often. Man, like I said, man, I appreciate you so much and what you're doing with that. Listen, okay, I want to do a segment. Can I transition to my final segment? Thomas, you participating, man. You're going to participate. I want to do this thing. Since we're talking about school, it doesn't have to be a school district. It could be anything in life. What are some things that I'm calling it promote or demote? What are some things that are going well? Promote some great things in life, or what are some things that you need to say, hey, you need to take a time out and go sit and rethink that. So I will start, since Thomas is a little apprehensive here. Yes, I love it. I love it. Can you purchase the books on your site? Can they purchase the books on your site, Dr. S?
For now, I want them to go to Amazon and pick it up for right now. Or they can reach out to me directly as well. So I don't know if you'll share my contact information. If they get it from me directly, I sign it and send it out to them. So that's a way to get a personal copy. And I also write an encouraging word inside the book as well. So it's not just my signature. I actually write something to encourage them and for something for them to reflect.
Love it.
You share the website at the end, they can reach me that way.
Most definitely. So who I want to promote definitely tonight, definitely Dr. S, because what you've done, you dropped some amazing knowledge on us. We need to support and continue to support you, because you are doing some great work in the schools. You're putting your money where your mouth is. You're not doing an empty invite or anything, man. So definitely, man, I'd love to continue to promote you, what you're doing and all you're doing. Now, the sit downs are these people and these, I'm going to tell the folks, as I said earlier in the opening of my show, listen, if you don't have kids and you just want to be up in the school board meetings and all that, go take a seat and sit down somewhere, because we're not interested in what you have to say, because you don't have a vested interest in that. We are fighting like hell to make sure our kids remain safe. I have a 5-year-old and who's in kindergarten. It's my responsibility to make sure she stays safe. That's why I put her in private school, because there's a problem. Like, listen, I can just take my check back. But I'm praying that God will bless me with a nanny soon, because her brother is old and can't do that anymore. Thomas, who are you promoting and who are you going to demote as well?
I am going to promote all of the Black men that have made a decision that it was time for them to stop being silent and to come out of those barriers and to come out of that hole and say, hey, I need someone to speak with. I am honored, Marty, that we have grown to have, my clientele is 68% male.
Wow.
So shout out to the men that are coming out saying, yo, I need some help. Shout out to my brothers that are watching, because they are watching on my business page. Shout out to you. I appreciate you. And what I also want to note is the fact that when people are trying to make a change, that we quickly try to take them back. So all of my naysayers, all of my people that are trying to hold other people down because they are trying to come up, you need to hush on that sense and let these people grow.
Love it. My brother, Dr. S.
I want to promote our youth and our young people, because they are so resilient, have pushed through so much, and are relying and trusting the adults in this country to make decisions. And that alone needs to be promoted, that they feel safe enough to be able to continue on and be resilient and be strong. So I'm going to say a shout out to all the young people, the kids who so often don't have a voice, that deserve to have a voice. And I want to demote anybody that does not give youth a voice. If you still are trapped in old mechanisms, educational systems that don't give kids the space to be able to share how they feel, I want to demote you. Our kids deserve to heal. They deserve to have a voice. Their voice has power. Please, let's demote that. Let's turn things around. Give our kids the space to be able to heal. They deserve it.
Wow. Much love, my brother. Let's shout out. Yes. So many shares. That's right. Listen, there were so many nuggets and diamonds in here tonight. Listen, y'all, Dr. S, we are so glad to have you again back on with us. Share your website. Daryl, can you put his website up again so that people know how to get a hold of Dr. S and that they may be able to reach out and grab a hold of his amazing product? So, Dr. S, share with us your website one more time.
Definitely, drsconyersspeaks.com. When you go to the website, you can see some of the different mental health symposiums, over 200 topics mental health symposiums that I conduct. And now I'm so happy to say I'm able to conduct them face to face or virtually remote as well via Zoom, Microsoft Teams, Google Meets, all the platforms.
Wow.
So if you're interested in holding a mental health symposium in your town, with your group, with your school, just reach out to me via the website. And of course, they can follow me on Instagram, doc_s, or Mental Hop, just like on my sweatshirt. Follow me on Mental Hop on Instagram as well. And I just look forward to connecting with the people and continuing to help people heal and continue to learn how to ask for help if they need it, and resolve issues and challenges just to get better. So I appreciate you guys always. Much love always to everybody tuned in.
Much definitely. Nicole, how you doing? Listen, Dr. S, I got to have you out here in Cali soon. I don't know how I'm going to do it. I got to Thomas help me sell some chicken and fish dinners. We're going to get you out here. Listen. We waste money for our weed and everything else as folks do. We got to learn how to put the money in the right spot. Folks know how to raise money. People will spend money in what they value. That's right. Let's look at your bank account. That tells us what you value. With that, and I value you, my brother, and definitely I'm gonna get you out here somehow, some way, by Rook or Crook. We're gonna get you out here to do a mental hop symposium and get thousands of kids out here so they can be out here, man. Definitely, Thomas. How do we always get a hold of you, my brother?
Yes, you can always find me on the website, which is www.limitlesspossibilitiesforyou.com. You can follow us on Instagram at Limitless Outcomes. And you can follow me on my social media outlet, period. On YouTube, which is Limitless Outcomes. Daryl, I'm going to get you. But yes, you can follow me everywhere. Limitless Possibilities, y'all. Limitless Possibilities.
Yes.
And Marty, thank you for this platform, brother. Thank you for this, because I do believe that this was a great vision of yours, and I'm proud to be working side by side with you again.
Listen, this is what we do. Glad to have brothers that we can do this with as we keep sharing that we as Black men, not only do we have a voice, but we have an important voice, and we can make a huge impact in our society. And we are forcing our way, that's why I'm saying it that way too, into letting people know how powerful we are and how we can help change the trajectory of our society, of our families, of this world. So definitely. Again, y'all, thank you for joining me on another edition of Mental Health Matters with Marty. We are so glad that you came out today to be with us as we talked about COVID and schooling. Listen, Dr. Sconiers has dropped some nuggets. Thomas has dropped some nuggets. I love that he says, speak to your children. Take some time to speak with your children and get to hear their voices. Their voice is very, very important. And Thomas dropped the topic, the nuggets of look, listen, and feel. Listen, check out our website at www.mentalhealthmarty.com, where you can find some amazing merchandise on there. I have my journal on there, Stop the Stinking Thinking Journal. Please get that. We also have our newest and latest t-shirt and hoodie on there, Black Mental Health Matters. And you'll see in gold it highlights Black Men Matter. And then please check out our podcast at Mental Health Matters with Marty podcast. If you are an Apple listener, please give us a 5-star rating and leave a review so that others can be encouraged by it as well. And become an iMatter member of Mental Health Matters with Marty by texting iMatter to 855-717-1272, 855-717-1272. Yo, listen, we are so glad that you joined us. Stay tuned with us. Tomorrow, we have a great show coming up as we're going to be talking to Black men who suffer in silence with none other than Sharif Colbert. He's Creole, y'all, the life coach at ATL, and definitely Bernard Owens, who is a mental health clinician in the DMV. I don't know why I keep going to the DMV area, y'all, but that's where we're at. We'd love to join you tomorrow, same bat channel at 6 p.m. Pacific Standard Time. And again, we don't want you to continue to suffer in silence in the shadow of shame. But you know how I say it, y'all, is that we have to speak up. We got to speak out in order that we might be able to live. And always remember to enjoy your life. We'll see you tomorrow. God bless.